All right, let's bring in Peter Newman, who is a professor of Sustainability Policy Institute at Curtin University and also a member of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. He joins us now live from Sydney. Peter, it's a pleasure having you on the show. About an hour ago, actually, I looked back at sort of the numbers in terms of the frequency of storms and hurricanes over the past 30, 40 years. Yes, we are seeing a slight increase in the numbers, but what's more striking is the proportion of hurricanes and storms that actually turn out to be major ones. And this is directly linked to climate change, is it not?
Yes, there are more and more extreme events because there's more and more energy in the atmosphere and the ocean that create these events. And we can expect that for the next 2 decades at least. So we must stop fossil fuel use and we must start removing CO2 from the atmosphere if we're going to restore anything like a normal weather pattern.
One of the characteristics of this particular storm that we're seeing sort of going through Cuba and the southeastern state of Florida, Hurricane Ian, is that it is a fairly slow-moving storm. I think it's around 15 kilometers or so. Does this also, I mean, the fact that it's slow moving obviously has devastating effects. You're going to get more rainfall. You're going to get more time where high winds affect buildings and infrastructure as well. Does climate change actually have anything to do with how slow a storm can move?
It could do. I haven't heard of that kind of detail before, but it is the kind of thing you can expect. There's going to be a lot of difference in the atmosphere. It's slow moving because it's hard up against other forms of energy that are holding it back from moving it simply and quickly away, as it has in the past. This is the kind of thing you could expect into the future, that there are going to be more extremes at particular places and that we'll never have seen before. That's to be expected.
One of the key elements that's actually required for a tropical storm to actually turn into a hurricane is rising seawaters, especially in the Gulf of Mexico. Talk to us about the correlation between how we, because of burning fossil fuels and the emission of gases like carbon dioxide, actually affect the increase in water temperatures.
Yes, the CO2 goes up into the atmosphere and it acts as a greenhouse. So it keeps the waste heat that is left over after you've used fossil fuels, it keeps it in the atmosphere. That's reflected back into the land and into the ocean. So the ocean is warming. Hurricane Katrina came out of a 5-degree increase in the Gulf of Mexico. 5 degrees across that whole body of water is an extraordinary amount of extra energy. And it just forms into these massive clouds of water vapor and just then dumps it on the land. So that's the kind of thing that is directly related to the increase in energy that we are creating in our atmosphere.
All right, Peter Newman, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour. I do appreciate your time and the analysis.